Everybody, and welcome to another episode of Farming Simulator 2015. We're back on the Canadian map. Another day just farming around. And we are on the eve of Farm Simulator 2017. I am excited as hell for that game. And right quick before I think about it, or don't think about it, and get some volume up in here. I do not actually like playing with any volume. Yeah, they just have the grape texture as corn, basically. Neat thing about this map, if those lights are red and you drive through it, you will get a $350 ticket, I believe. So I get those all the time. But when they're flashing yellow, you're good to go. So we got our planters out running. They're just modded John Deere planters that also fertilize at the same time, because quite frankly, when I'm playing by myself on a bigger map, I don't like going out and spraying every field. I just kind of like doing what I want to do. But back to Farm Simulator 17. I believe they are probably going to drop it at midnight, like they seem to always do, like they did in Fallout 4, like they have done with every game that I have pre-ordered for 5 years. And that's pre-ordering on Steam. Used to be a console player, now I'm part of the PC Master Race. And I do believe I'm going to say I'm part of the PC Master Race. As far as Farm Simulator 17 goes, I have watched Daggerwind's first look videos and first few episodes, and they are very good. Shout out to Daggerwind. I always enjoy his content. He has a preview copy, reviewer's copy, whatever they care to call it. Basically, it's just a pre-release full copy. They review it for Giants. It's a good deal. I myself am not a part of that. Would like to have been, but hey, it's how things go. Right now, I think we are pretty well. We gotta wait on one of the planters to finish, because I need a tractor to bale with. My little raking and tedding tractor just is not big enough for crap. And as I've said before, you may hear a little clicking in the background every now and again. That's because I have a mechanical keyboard. I might buy the Logitech steering wheel and all that setup for Farm Simulator 17. But that's just something I haven't really saw any need for myself. But for ease and realism and all that, I may get it. I've used them before. They work pretty slick. I myself am just a tight ass. Feeling just a touch under the weather here lately, but we're still gonna pump out them vids. We are currently actually working on harvest ourselves right now, so I will do the best that I can with content at the moment, and hopefully tomorrow, or it's probably going to be Friday or Saturday before we can start combining again after the rain Tuesday night. But hopefully I can bring you guys some videos from the seat of the combine. We have a 1660 Case IH combine. Potato steamer. Washed potato empty. Well, that's nice. Quite honestly. Okay. I will go park this under there so I can start filling this trailer with the potatoes. That's just the T830 tractor from base game. Big old John Deere planter. These are the Case 9230s, but they are not from the base game. They do have a higher capacity. Had to bring back the big M500. Eventually, we get to this little tractor here. Way too small to be having on that big ass rake, but you know, gotta do what you gotta do. I got the big tractors and planters. That's more important. Oh, we're gonna take this little guy. And for this map, we have to have modded trailers to be able to fill these machines to wash the potatoes and steam the potatoes, or just wash them, because that first one, and I will show you momentarily once I get backed up here. Take some fuel over here. This first setup washes the potatoes and steams them. The second setup just washes them. And of course you get more money for actually steaming them than you do washing them. And this last contraption down here turns things into compost. I generally, if I'm bored waiting on things to plant, etc., etc., I will be, hooked onto that pickup wagon and sitting there bringing in straw, turning it into compost. It's pretty good money. Got sheep. Don't really have any animals right now besides the chickens. We'll be getting into that fairly soon. Maybe. FS17 might just completely take over. Who knows? Looks like it's a great game. Looks like I'm gonna spend a couple thousand hours on it just because. But it also depends on what kind of mods come out to keep it playable, keep it interesting. Which, for all the mods out for 15 that were even out, 6 hours after release, were pretty dang good. And I do not think that the mod developers will disappoint us in any way anytime soon. Way too small a tractor for this big ass thing. It is painfully obvious. Let's see. About 76,000 liters left in there to be washed. The steamer's not going. Maybe it's out of water. This is like a 90 horse tractor, 130, one or the other. Not near freaking big enough. But it suits the purpose that it was bought for, which is to ted that hay out over there. But honestly, tedding is a practice that to me is pretty foreign, because I farm here in Iowa, and I mean, I've seen them on dealer lots as of recently, you know, within the last, probably the last year, maybe two. A couple of them have showed up. I never really asked if they sold any, because quite frankly, some of the Kuhn, the rotary rakes, can just be set to do the tedding for you, instead of having a separate piece of equipment for a specialized job. You can just use one for two, which for cheap asses like me is a great thing. But honestly, anytime that we've went out and mowed hay, which we use a Kuhn 9-foot disc mower, it's like a 7100 HD. You know, we just leave it lay. You know, leave it lay for a full day for grass, 2 days for, you know, alfalfa, and that all depends on the weather and humidity and things of that nature. But I've never really seen the purpose of having a tedder other than scattering shit around for, you know, it's going to dry out faster. But I haven't seen the, you know, where does the efficiency come in? I don't see this as an efficient practice. I see it as a waste of diesel fuel when I can wait one more day. I don't know. If anybody knows, you can tell me. I am all about learning new things, especially when it comes to farming. If it's something good, hey, I'll think about implementing it in my day-to-day at the farm. Little tractor does pretty good on the old tedder here. Unfortunately, it just doesn't go fast enough for me. I think the fastest tractor in 15 out of TED goes like 14 miles an hour. I do believe. One last little bit, I got the rest back there raked up in preparation for this video. And as my bank account is still plummeting down like a falling fucking rock, I'm sure both of those planters are still going at the moment. But we do have quite a bit of land for no longer than I've played this map. The land prices are actually fairly reasonable on this map. I've played several maps where the land prices were just outrageous, kind of like they are in real life at the moment. Or at least in Iowa, and Nebraska, and Missouri. They are outrageous. I can quite frankly look around. Price of everything's outrageous. I'm honestly currently looking to trade down in vehicles. There's something to get a lower payment with. And I see 10-year-old vehicles posted for sale for the same amount that my 2011 Power Strokes, you know, actually books at is worth. But when you approach them about trading, of course, they just want a straight trade. Even though their vehicle's 10 years old, my vehicle's 5 years old, has less miles and all this, but they still think theirs is worth the same amount of money. People are getting to be ridiculous. Couple more rounds here and we'll be done with this field. I do not have another one mowed at the moment. Probably not going to. Basically just because tedding is the most boring thing in the game, period. 13, it wasn't too bad because you had that big giant tedder. And you could do a field like this in like 4 minutes. Maybe 5. I think this entire field with this size tedder takes just under 15 if I do the full field. I don't mind mowing, don't mind raking, but I came to find out on this map, if you just mow, or since I have the big M, I can mow in those swaths. If you just mow swath and try to pick up the green grass in your loading wagon, it just automatically turns it into straw. I don't know if I read something wrong in the map information, or if it's some sort of mod conflict that's somehow causing this to happen. I don't know. With 17 coming out, I'm not going to screw with it. But that is basically the only reason that I have to chop corn and mow. Or ted. Because otherwise, I basically just mow the grass, pick it up in the loading wagon, throw it in the feed mixer, throw it in the pit, and pack it down. Put a tarp on it, wait for it to become silage. It's cheap. Grass regrows. You don't have to fertilize it in 15. I don't know if you do in 17 yet. Honestly, I hope you do. Make it a lot more realistic. Grass doesn't grow back the same every time. Neither does alfalfa. Anything like that. Anything that grows, if you do not help it grow, it is not going to grow the same. Just eventually gets weaker and weaker, not enough macro or micronutrients in the soil, and all that good stuff. So I'm really hoping that's a feature in 17. Between that and the contract work that you can now do in 17, I'll be ecstatic as hell. Because, right now I'm not real tight on money, not in my tight classification yet. That's pretty much when I get under 50 grand on a game. But you can be dead ass broke, not be able to even plan a field. You can go out, do some contract work, and go out and plant that field. And granted, you need to rethink your investment strategy on that farm, but it gets you out of possibly bad situations that you may have put yourself in, even though it's just a game. Because I do notice that, quite honestly, that people that are bad with money in real life are completely terrible with money in a game. And I'm pretty much one of the top 10 tight asses that I know personally. So generally fairly good with money on here, unless I want to really try something out. really don't want to sit here and square bale all this, but it is quicker than round baling it. Unfortunately. Really wish they'd just bring something back like the quadra baler. That seemed to be a very popular mod. Because basically around here, we pretty well just stick with round bales. Nicer and more convenient. Yeah, hold down. And generally when we're square baling, we sure as hell don't bale them on the ground. I do realize these are like 4x4x8 or 6x6x8 bales. But damn, don't bale them on the ground. Did like in 13 when they got that, when they released their classics equipment. They had a square baler, and it was about, you know, IRL size in the game to what I consider to be a square baler. You know, the ones you can pick up and move around by hand. You don't need a tractor to do it. That's really the only advantage to square bales over round bales. Even though if you're feeding multiple cattle at one time, you're not feeding square bales. Unless they're the big ones, you're not feeding regular square bales. I mean multiple as 10 or more. You could probably feed up to about 10 with square bales every day. You know, a determined person could feed 10 to 15. But most people aren't. Most people just like, grab a big bale, throw it in there, wait a couple days, a week, whatever it is. I mean, if you have 10 or 15 head and making a bale last a week, I don't know what the hell else you're feeding them, but not really getting enough roughage in at one time. But yeah, they're just so much more convenient and easy. Oh, take a huge hit on the frame rate there. I don't know what the fuck happened, but damn. Couple more passes with this, and this will be done now. Bale a little bit. See, this is why I say this tractor is way too small. And it's too small in the first place, but now we're slowing down while we're trying to go uphill, and it's not efficient. I like to have an efficient farm. But it does look like that my baler tractor is free from the planter now. The other tractor just needs to finish one field, and we'll be ready to speed her up a little bit, because I don't like waiting in-game time for my product to grow. I'm just impatient. You know, I'm not going to go out and log for 2 hours IRL time just for my fucking wheat to be ready. I'm going to speed the game up to 180. I'm going to do what I want to, and then it's going to be ready. But when I get, and I have already pre-ordered 17, so I will get it, and will download it as soon as I can. It's probably gonna be like 1:30. That's when I come home from break, from work. So I'm gonna download it as soon as I can. Get off at 7. I'm gonna come home. I'm gonna play that game. Get a video up for you guys as soon as possible. And it's gonna be played. It's gonna be up. It's gonna be at least a half hour long, if not an hour or two, because I am excited as hell for that game. It seems I wasn't very excited for 15 because quite honestly there wasn't that many changes, and there's not a big laundry list of changes from 15 to 17. But, you know, the things, the different fertilizers, you know, the different fertilizing regimens that is employed or can be employed in 17. You know, small things like that really matter to me when it comes to gaming. It's not the big, ooh, this is the main point, because when it boils down to it, you're just farming. That's all you're doing, is sitting here virtually farming. It's great. But the small things are what I really feel gives that game its playability. You know, it's not something you play for a couple hours and you're like, dude, this game is so boring. I don't want to ever play it again. No. The small things, you know, they really kind of make you think, hey, this is fairly realistic. I mean, we can only get so realistic. It is a computer game. But, you know, if they get it as realistic as they can get and improve upon that every game series, every release, I'm ecstatic as hell. Increases the playability, at least for me. You know, that's all I'm worried about. If you guys don't like it, you don't like it. I love the shit out of this game. You know, I want to farm every day in real life. I usually get to. I want to farm every day when I come home from, you know, that relaxation period in between, you know, getting off from helping on the farm or doing whatever on the farm. That time in between, maybe I go to the gym, then come home and play. Or maybe I, you know, just come home because it's an off day, I'm not lifting. Either way, I like that game to have that playability, so I can do that, just like Fallout 4 does for me. Fallout 4's got a lot of life left in it, for me personally. And I will be bringing you guys some Fallout 4 as soon as I can put the Farm Simulator 17 down. That's going to be the struggle. And I have to choose tomorrow between combining on Farm Simulator 17 or going out and running the combine. Who knows? We all know who's going to win there. I'm going to go run the combine. At age 1660 always calls my name when I'm around. At least I'd like to think so. I have a very weird relationship with my equipment, I seem sometimes. As long as it treats me good, I'll treat it good. Right, now we're going to go fetch the square baler. Because I don't have a round baler at the moment. And I don't really know if I'm going to buy one. Just for the simple fact it's so damned expensive. And a new one in real life is like 60 grand. Come on, brah. What the hell's a new one on here? And we'll just look at the in-game. Okay, it's 58 grand. But seriously, 128 grand for one of these? I haven't priced a new one IRL yet, but damn. Who in the hell can afford that for personal use? For personal use. I know those guys that go out and travel and bail a fuck ton of bales every year can afford that shit. You know, I see guys advertising for that all the time. I mean, hell, I've even seen them square bale fucking corn stalks with these things. I didn't think it was possible. Or that you'd want to anyway, in the first place. Honestly, wish I could bail at 15 mile an hour though. That'd make everything so much faster. We just have an old Vermeer L baler. Go along about 8. Which is still pretty good. Pretty good range for, you know, bouncing across everything. Actually having terrain. Which this map does very well, I do believe. I do have the real terrain mod for the suspension on the tractor, so it actually actuates like it's supposed to, like it's made to do in real life. And the air ride cabs, they move around. You know, the front tires actually bob up and down with the terrain. But I have kind of noticed on flat terrain, they do a little bit of the same thing. It's not full actuation like it would be if it was, say, what we're doing now on actual real terrain, but it's not, it's still got work to do to it. I mean, it's fairly realistic, fits my cup of tea, makes me happy, but like I said, there's always room for improvement on almost everything. Also pretty excited because the new Absolute Performance intake is showing up for my 6.7 Power Stroke tomorrow afternoon. Excited to be able to put that on. Because even though I am a diesel parts dealer, as well, I dabble in a little bit of everything. Because being a tight ass, I like to make money any way I can. That's why we're third shifted a tooling company as well. But even though I'm a diesel parts dealer myself, I cannot, you know, I don't sell Absolute Performance. They have the best performing intakes for a 6.7 Power Stroke, and the deal that I got on it, you know, I got it $10 cheaper than an S&B cold air intake. So pretty happy about it. How many bears are we going to get today, Jimmy? We are rolling up on 34 minutes of... I also like to tell you guys that I do the least amount of editing on my videos as possible. This is pretty much just a live commentary gameplay that, you know, I'm just thinking of stuff on top of my head to talk about. Just going with it, just winging it. And, you know, some may see that as unprofessional. Me, I don't like those guys who sit there, play a game, and, you know, they're commentating over a gameplay. And they just kind of are a little more monotone than they should be. Because they're reading notes, you know. Oh, at this point in the video we need to talk about this, or I'm going to comment on this at this point in the video. What the hell with that? And if you don't find me entertaining, that's fine. I'm okay with I'm doing this because I enjoy it. If I never get another subscriber, who cares? It's something I enjoy. I can go back at this and watch it later. And I do enjoy making content for you guys. Don't get me wrong here. And I do want to update and get better equipment so I can make those better quality, good videos for you guys. But, it's not, oh, he works at home and YouTube. He must be making lots of YouTube's monies. Fuck, I ain't seen a goddamn cent. I don't expect to. Don't really care if I do. It'd be great, but I don't really care if I do. So you have to love what you're doing before you really, try to make it a business. And it sure as hell will never be my full-time job. I like that steady paycheck. Not oh well, you got 1 million views last month. You're doing great, but this month, you're down 200,000. That's like, well, that's a big difference in paycheck there, George. All right, that's enough bailing for today. What the hell are we gonna do now? I need to go wash this dirty badge. Yes, I do curse in my videos. It's not something that I sit here and watch and I was like, oh, shouldn't say that. Me, I'm just, like I said, I'm just going with it. Whatever comes out, comes out. I do try to cut down on it, and I'm sure as I am conscious of it that it will slowly ebb over time. But yeah, I'm gonna say what I want to say. Freedom of speech and all that stuff. YouTubes may not like it, but they don't have to monetize my videos. I don't care. That's a clean truck you got there. I'm gonna sting you. Zap. That's a clean truck. We're just gonna leave you there. Oh, that's nasty. I guess we can watch this one too. All kinds of dirty shit over here. Alright guys, been a little bit of a boring video today, but I'm sure that the excitement of Farm Simulator 2017 coming out, that my enthusiasm will be a lot higher. I'll be like a little schoolgirl on Christmas Day. Yeah! Get this all washed up. Washy washy! Alright. You're still planting. This is a huge field. Jesus! And as you can see down the bottom right hand corner, it is cotton! Because in this map, we'll just switch over. Right. We'll get the little tractor. Go hook it on the planter. I'll show you what kinds of stuff we can grow on this here map. Yeah, instead of having to have the animation map trigger, or you still have to have the animation map trigger, but most of those make you open the gates by hand, actually, like get out and do it. These are automatic. It's kinda nice. But honestly, I'm not so lazy as to not get out to open a fucking gate. Alright, we got your standard barley, canola, corn, potatoes, sugar beet, grass. And then the new stuff comes in for grapes. The pictures are missing in some, but this is rye, oats, sunflower, cotton, moon, whatever the hell that is. Sunflower. I guess these are the same. They go through the same again. And unfortunately, the map supports soybeans. I don't know if I have a planter that plants them. Honestly, I bought these two biggins to begin with. I didn't have to add money to the account or nothing. You start off with good enough stuff to get pretty decent equipment right off the get-go. So I don't know if any of the vanilla ones happen to have their game files changed to where they will support soybeans. That is something I will find out probably tomorrow. I'll still probably play this for a little while. Sometime tomorrow, if possible, if I'm not running the combine too long. Picking up eggs! Eggs make me happy. It's good proteins. See, and this is the compost. It just looks like really nice black dirt, like you would see on a river bottom. And it looks like it runs a whole shit ton, but it really doesn't. You're really not running very much at all. But alright, thank you guys for watching. I hope you'll tune in tomorrow morning for the Farm Simulator 17 video. Other than that, I will start bringing you more and more regular content as I am available. To that, have a great day, and subscribe if you like the content. Throw a like down, whatever you feel like. But thanks again for watching. Have a good day.